Hello. I'm assuming we are waiting for more people to join before we start the meeting.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Hi.
was just going to type in. We'll give it a couple more minutes and
Okay.
then we will begin. I think it'll be fine because I've already begun recording, so I'm sure they can look through it if they've missed out on anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
because some
Okay.
of
All
them
right.
will not be able to join.
Yeah, I did receive some decline, but there are a few here that I can see who said yes but are not in yet. So I was thinking I'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll begin.
Sure.
Okay.
For those from Intel, you should have the board with you, right, in your hand. If you don't have development kit, please contact Adeline. How many from Intel? Is all here
I
or?
I counted I counted one the 13 in total. 13 in total and only one decline.
Hmm. Oh, I mean, those already online one.
Oh,
So
already
they don't they don't
online.
use the Intel email, so I cannot recognize
Uh,
them.
okay, so that is excluding yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so far.
Hello, good afternoon, all the Intelers. Hope that you already have the bots with you. I appreciate your time to attend this training.
Hi. Good afternoon. Sorry, it's hard to do the mute and mute thing.
1, 2, 3. Okay, I think we'll begin first. You can't hear anything? Is anybody else having the same problem? AN, who is? I'm sorry, AN, you are. Can anybody give me any kind of indication whether or not you can hear me?
I can hear you. This is Ipin line.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Ipin. So it's just one person who can't hear me so far. Teddy gave me a thumbs up, which means yes, he can hear me clearly. I
Yeah, we can
received
hear
the
you. We need to have this board in hand or no?
yes, please. Because the assembly is quite simple.
Hmm.
Nothing too complicated. So as we'll begin with somewhat like a 101 introduction to Microbit. It won't be so overwhelming, I'm sure. Could be my setting. I'm joining using Zoom browser. Is there a particular setup? If It could be that. It could be that. So try downloading Zoom app. It could work. It might work better. So I'm assuming it's on your end because everybody else can hear me. Another person cannot hear me. Okay. Could it be on their side that they can't hear me? What if you were to leave and enter the meeting again? So far, those are the kind of technical issues we've had. Either you have to download the Zoom app or leave and enter the meeting again. Yes, you also need to.
Yeah, you make sure that you click connect, accept connected to your headset, no?
Yes, you have to click. A pop-up will
Uh,
appear. Yeah.
you need to select.
I've changed my headset setup, still not hearing anything. If you were to unplug but still hear using your audio, like what I'm doing, I don't have anything connected to my to my port. I'm using my audio as it is. Okay, good. Using computer audio, you can hear. I think we have one more person who had problem. Ravi, I think. Yeah, Ravi. Is he in? Can you hear me? I think he left and came back in. Can you hear me now? I don't think he can hear me because he's not responding to me. You still can't hear me. No, not yet. Did you try? Let me rejoin. Okay. All right. I'm sure Ravi will figure out. If he is unable, I'm sure he will ask for assistance on the chat box. We'll check with him later. So as an introduction, hello everyone. Thank you for taking the time to have our training today. Let me introduce myself. I'm Atika, obviously, yes, from Penang Science Cluster. So I'm a mathematics graduate, and hopefully with everybody's participation, this workshop will go on smoothly until the end of August. I've also sent some materials which include the lesson modules as well as the program schedule. I'm sure everybody has received it. So what I'm going to do now is we'll go through the program schedule, program plan somewhat, and we'll figure if you have any questions, any doubts, you can ask now, or you can even use the chat box if you're shy with your voice. But please, it'll be easier if you were to just unmute yourself and just ask me. Because I'm afraid the chat box doesn't have a ping sound, so I'm afraid that I might miss some of your questions. So just unmute yourself and ask me if you have any doubts or questions, okay? So let's begin. Let me open the program details, and I will be sharing my screen with all of you. Okay, I hope everybody can see my screen, because for the moment I myself am looking at my own screen. So,
Yeah, we can see your screen.
okay, good. All right. So let's go through the program layout. So as I mentioned, we've already did the promotion and we're almost reaching our 40th student. When we do reach our 40 signups, I'll let all of you know. So far, the feedback has been positive. I have had parents contacting me asking about it. And also from the questions and excitement from the text and also some calls I received, the kids, age range 10 to 12-year-old, they are quite excited to join this workshop. So this is our tentative timeline. So I hope there won't be any changes, possibly subject to changes, but I'll definitely let all of you know beforehand because I wouldn't want to disrupt your schedule too much. Okay, so welcome. This is our first session where we will be going through our program plan and also our lesson 1, lesson 2. Okay, now we've already begun registration like I mentioned before. So as you can see here, this is the registration period. And while we receive the registration, we will be assigning the students, 3 to 4 students per mentor, which are all of you, the Intel engineers. You will be their mentor. So I'll be assigning 3 to 4 students per mentor, and also I'll be separating your training sessions, which will be one in the morning session and also one in the afternoon session. Once I have come up with the complete set of groups as well as the sessions, I will share with all of you the details as well. Moving on will be during the loaning period here, students will be coming to PSC, Penang Science Cluster, at our Wisma Yap Choi office. So during collection, we will, besides collecting the microbit set, we will also share with them who their mentors are and their group members. So everything here will be random. We won't, but we will also make sure that there's equality in each group, which means that we will make sure that you have those who know Microbit and those who are using Microbit for the first time, and also we'll make sure there's a nice balance of all ages in your group. We won't just assign all of them that are of one age and all of them don't know Microbit or all of them know Microbit. There won't be any, I suppose, fun in that, so to speak. Okay, and moving on is that a question that I have for all of you actually, during before our first class, my idea is that if all of you are willing and agree, I will create a general WhatsApp group which will include myself, all of the Intel engineers, as well as the students. So in terms of students, it's most probably their parents' phone number. The WhatsApp group is for announcement, communication purpose, reminders, things like that. Could I get a say in this if there is a majority who is okay with this? If you're okay with this, I will send out a Google form for me to ask for your phone numbers, whereby I will create the WhatsApp group and also include the students as well. Are
Um,
you in
I,
agreement with this?
I think what you can do is that you can straight away go to create a WhatsApp form, and then for those people that and then send the form to those people in Intel, right? So for those people waiting to join the WhatsApp group, they will fill out the form, right? And then you can include them in the WhatsApp group straight away.
I see. Okay, okay. All right. So
Yeah.
I'll take that into, I'll take that as a note. Okay. So WhatsApp form, somewhat like a WhatsApp link through, right?
Right. I
I
mean,
will
I mean,
explain,
you
yeah.
you you will create the Google form anyhow, right? So
Yeah.
you just let us know the link, right? Then for those people who are okay to join the WhatsApp group, they can go to fill out the Google form, right? Then you can include them into the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sounds like a good suggestion. That sounds solid. Also a reminder, since all of you will be having your weekly sessions with your students, there is a please take note that if you require extra sessions outside the normal Sundays, either morning session or afternoon session, if you want extra sessions with your group, please let me know so that I'm informed, and also so that the parents are informed. We wouldn't want it coming back to us because even though this is done virtually, we have to take note of child protection very seriously. So that is one thing gentle reminder to everybody. And if you wish, if you're already in the general WhatsApp group, and if you have an idea about having your own WhatsApp group with your group members, you have to include me as well in your personal WhatsApp group if you follow out on this plan. Otherwise, you can just communicate in the general WhatsApp group. It's more than fine as well.
So Atika, one thing is that in case, okay, due to some emergency, the mentors cannot make to the session. So do you have backup mentors for that session?
For unfortunately, for each mentor we plan to give a good the same number of students. So in terms of backup mentors, no, but then we can come up with a plan whereby you can either schedule another session. That is one option. uh, but you will have to work out with me because we have to make sure your students as well as the mentors are okay with it, with the change in session. But it can't be a recurring event, then it's just going to inconvenient, I think, a lot of parties. So you have to take note of that. Another one would be if the students were to share a mentor just for that particular day. That is another way we can look at it. But I will take down this scenario where in case, I think it'll be both sets, uh, where maybe the students don't attend because of emergency, or maybe the mentors themselves don't attend because of an emergency. So I'll take
Right,
down the question,
right,
and
right.
besides the options I've just presented, I will get back to all of you if there are any other alternatives about
Right.
this. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm, okay. All right. I hope everybody can follow me so far. Anything else before we go on to the next we move on to the next part of it, which are all your Sunday sessions?
One thing is that during the sessions, right, I expect their students' parents will be joining as well, right? Means that they'll be around. Maybe they won't be the one directly talking to us, but they will be probably guiding or assisting their kids
Yes,
along the
yes.
session. Okay, perfect.
So far from my previous experience dealing with 10 to 12-year-olds, more often than not, the 10-year-old students, the parents will be nearby to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that they participate. That is one
Okay,
thing. The
okay,
11-year-olds and the 12-year-olds are a little bit more mature. They are actually more, I would say, more savvy than I came to know when using any kind of hardware or any kind of software navigating through the laptop. So they are more than fine. It's the 10-year-olds that usually have parent supervision nearby.
okay, perfect, perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, no problem. Okay, so I've already informed you of the groups, the sessions, WhatsApp group. Next will be
Oh yeah, Atika, sorry. All those online sessions you will help to set up, right?
yes, yes. I will be setting up everything for all of you. Not
Oh,
to worry.
perfect. Thank you,
Yes,
Atika.
yes, yes. So I was going to go into that now. Yeah. So the Zoom link for your weekly sessions, I will be setting it up for all of you. I will be sending out the Zoom link maybe a few days earlier before each session, so that all of you are notified. I'll also put up a reminder about it, as well as the lesson modules. So all of you will already have your lesson modules on hand. I will be sharing out the lesson modules with the students a couple of days earlier before each session as well, so that it's easier for them too. You don't have to share the modules during that day only. So your students already have the modules beforehand as well. So the students might have had a glance through, so they won't be completely blind coming into the session. So it's quite it is easier on you as well. Next one will be after sharing the Zoom link. When you come in, so this is the general idea. When you come into your Zoom sessions, you will have, I will be, you, sorry, how do I put this easier? Okay, so each session will have about 20 students and about 6 to 7 mentors, including myself. So that's about almost 30, give or take. I will be assigning each group into a breakout room, so that you can have your session with your students without interrupting others and others interrupting you. So you'll have the privacy of that. And then after you've had your session, we will come back together, and just as a heads up, maybe one group for each week, you can share something about what you have learned on that day. And I would strongly encourage mentors to let the students share their reflection. So maybe every week, maybe one or two groups can share, or we can just go in order as well. So we have the first week, we can have the first group, the second week we can have the second group, and so on and so forth, something like that. But I strongly encourage mentors to, you know, give support to your students so that they are more outspoken, because all in all, this workshop, besides teaching them to use the Microbit software and also the Microbit hardware, you are teaching the students about problem solving skills, you're teaching them about presentation skills, you're teaching them about communication as well. So you want them to be participative in all of this in throughout these 2 months. You wouldn't want them to be the loner in a group. Like, try to make sure everybody is participative as well. And we will have our classes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes. And I hope all of you have read the rules and regulation in this link here. Can I get a yes or no? Yes. Good. All right, good. Okay, so if you have read the rules and regulations, you would come to know that besides students attending all the classes, they will also have to come up with a project, of course, with your guidance as well, your guidance, your support, your ideas, as well as the students guiding each other. You'll come to find that when students have basic ideas about a certain software and hardware, the sky is the limit. I have come to know that they can be quite the explorer when it comes to coding, programming, robotics, things like that. But you will need to give them a little bit of nudge as to what kind of project you want to come up with. So in these rules and regulation, I've mentioned that the main theme for this project is Heal the World. And I've already included three kinds of small themes, which are climate action. You have life on land, life underwater, So your project, it has to be workable. Try to come up with the original idea, a workable coding, a workable project as to how you would solve a problem relating to climate action, life on land or life underwater. You can choose one, or you think that it overlaps with more than one thing, it's fine too, so long as it doesn't go out of the main theme, or so long as it doesn't go out of the three things: the climate action, the life underwater, and also the life on land. I've also included in the rules and regulations, if you can see it now and open it. I think I will share it now as well for convenience sake, just in case. Okay, so design a project which is due 29 August. One project per group, it must fulfill one theme at least, or if you want more than one, it's fine. So your samples, yes, this is what I wanted to share with you. Sample projects, working projects that other children have created. You can find it here. And I have to say some of the projects are quite creative. I'm so sorry, something is wrong here. Let me try again. Yeah. So these are some of the projects that are related to the three themes. Very relatable, okay? These are some that I found that you can look through it. I'm sure you can get ideas from any of these projects, but it goes without saying, please don't copy and paste these projects. Try to come up of your own ones, as well as if you were to get an idea from it, I think that's fine. Try not to plagiarize. And the whole point of this is so that the students are excited when they come up with something of their own. And you will come to realize that it's quite fun when students come up with something of their own. Yeah. Okay. So the Microbit hardware must be the main event as well. Of course, the software as well. It's optional for you to use any other kind of materials for your project. So these are the themes that you can choose. Like I said, you can choose one, you can choose more than one, but it has to be between these three, and you can read about these three in these links here to understand more about it. So project submission will be by 29 August, and I've already created a template for all of you for convenience, okay? So you don't have to come up with a way to present your project. I've already done that part for you. What your part is just simply including the information here. So if let's say you can download the template here actually. So this is the standard template that I've prepared for all of you, okay? So you just need to screenshot the coding image that you come up with from the Microbit software and a picture of your final outcome or final result. So if let's say your coding comes to more than one page, it's fine, so long as it's clear. But I'm sure your Microbit project will fit into one page, so there's no problem there. Okay? Anything or whatever materials, resources, templates, it can be found in the rules and regulations. If you have any problem downloading it or any problem going through it, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. Just drop me a text or an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay. Finally, this is project submission, which is the folio method or folio format. This is the exciting part, the project demonstration. We will have this project demo on our last session, which is the 7th session. You have 6 lessons, so that's 6 weeks. On the 7th week, which is on the 30th of August, it will be your live demonstration. So for this part, I would strongly recommend that you ask your students to demonstrate the project. So tell them to showcase their presentation skills, their presentation talents, be excited when they present their projects. So each group will have 5 to 7 minutes. So these are what you need to present during the live demo. And then you will have 2 to 3 minutes to have Q&A from other groups if they want to know more about it. This is a guidance template that I've included for you. You don't have to submit this guidance template actually. It's, as I said, it's just a guide for you to have a clearer picture of your project. So you have what is the problem you're coming up with, why it's happening, what is your solution, and what's your idea, and then just have a rough sketch. You don't actually necessarily have to print this out. You can just copy it as it is onto whatever materials you have on hand, because this information will prove useful when you come up with your project. It's somewhat like a chronology as to what, why, how, and what is the solution. And same goes as usual. The first 7 groups will have their morning demonstration. Will have their demonstration in the morning, and the remaining groups will have their demonstration in the afternoon. And finally, this is the agenda shared with the parents and students when they registered for the workshop. Okay. Going back to the schedule here. Is everybody okay with the schedule? And is there any, I suppose, feedback as to which session you are put in? Let me just check the Zoom if everybody's okay with it. Okay, silence. So I assume everybody is okay and it
Atika?
doesn't matter. Yes?
Yeah, I just want to maybe add up on that. Would it be possible if, say, if I will be joining in the afternoon session instead of morning sessions?
Yeah, that is what I'm asking. So I assumed everybody was okay. So yeah, sure, no problem. May I know who is speaking? Can I take note of your name?
Teddy?
Okay, Teddy, sure. So I will put you in the 2 p.m. session every Sunday.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, sure. All right.
Thanks.
Good to know. All right. You're welcome. No problem.
Yeah, this is Itpin Lai. So Atika, if you could put me into the afternoon session, would be great as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but in case, okay, if you are having too many people in the afternoon session and you need someone in the morning, you can put me there as well. I'm just saying that
So you're
my first preference is in the afternoon, but if needed, I
okay.
can make to morning. Yeah,
Okay, sure. First preference it is. All right.
right.
And everybody is okay with the date? Any feedback on that? If you're okay with it, then we will proceed with it as well.
Tika, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you
Tika,
clearly.
Yeah. I want to double confirm with you. They got 2 slots per day, right? Sunday.
Yes.
Uh, so I have to choose either one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no problem. Do you have a preference? Is it
Yeah.
Raja, right?
Yeah. My name is Raja. So the date is confirmed every Sunday, right? You cannot move to
Yes.
Saturday or even Friday.
No, no,
You know.
no. Only Sunday. Only Sunday. I had to take into consideration that the students have gone back to school. That's why. As well
Okay.
as your working hours too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So just to clarify, you won't be, like Raja said, maybe there's some confusion. You won't be attending both session. You will only be attending one. So actually it's only 2 hours every week, either morning or afternoon. It's not 4 hours, it's only two. But I will be there the whole of Sunday to supervise everybody.
Hi, Atika.
Yes.
Can you put me in the morning session, please?
Sure. Sorry, I missed out the name. I couldn't see. Who was it?
I'm Nisa.
Okay. All right,
Oh,
Nisa.
yeah, yeah,
Morning session, yes,
yes,
Nisa, just to confirm.
yes, yes, yes,
Okay, all
yes.
right.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
I think me too. Morning session.
Okay, yes, Raja.
Thank you, Atika.
Okay, you're welcome. Mm, I I think that sums up everything. Yes, that sums up everything. Just a friendly tip. So as soon as your sessions begin on 19th of July, yes, your first session will be on the 19th of July. You can already begin sharing with your groups about the project. You don't have to wait until the last minute. It's just going to make you it's just going to rush your group members, and I think that perhaps if you had more time, then your timeline or your game plan would be better for you as well as for your students. So you have 2 hours every week. If you were to finish your lessons earlier in that session, you can start discussing about your project. So when you meet them for the first time, introduce, make sure that they introduce themselves. I don't know, prod for details as to why they're excited about all of this. Maybe then you'll get an idea as to what kind of projects you like to pitch. And also during the first session that you should also remind them about these projects as well. So you don't have to wait until the end only then to start your project. Then you'll just be rushing yourself as well. So by the end of the session, I hope to receive 13 folio projects. I hope. I'm being very optimistic. Okay, so I hope I'll be receiving 13 projects, and also I'll be compiling the projects for all of you to view, considering that still the demonstration is still it's still split into two sessions. So I will be compiling the folio for all of you to view so that you can see what the other groups came up with, and also I will be sharing it with the students as well. So I'm sure they would be more than happy to try it at home and to see how the microbit works. I think that's all from me. I'm just looking through my to-do list. Yeah, I think that's all from me. Is everybody clear? Need more clarification? If you think you're okay for now, great. If you missed out on something, it's fine. You can text me or you can also drop an email, and I will be more than happy to help you.
So basically, we have to find the ID, is it?
Yes, try to. So like I said, I've already shared with you a link with the sample
Yeah,
projects.
I got it.
Yes,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
But Atika, I thought
Yeah.
we wanted the students to actually throw in their ideas and then actually they be the main driver for the ideas.
Sorry, come again?
And I thought that the students should be
Yeah.
the main driver for the ideas, not the mentor to throw in
Oh
the
yeah,
ideas.
yeah, yeah. It could go both ways. There's no limitation to this actually.
Hmm.
So you can have a idea with you. It's not wrong. But yes, the ideal one would be for the students to be inspired to come up with an idea. That is the ideal situation.
Okay.
So yes, like you said, the main driver will be the students. So you
Okay.
can, like I said, you can start in the beginning of the first lesson. You don't have to wait until the end. So you
Hmm.
can just say something as simple as throughout these 6 weeks, you'll be learning as well as you use these 6 weeks to come up with a project. But encourage them to start early. So tell them, uh, you've already read the links on the rules and regulation. You've seen what kind of themes it is. So see if they can find a problem and a solution for the project that they are going to create.
I see
Okay.
a lot of. I see a couple of the projects in the makecode.microbit.org. Can we also
Mm-hmm.
use those ideas?
You can use those as reference.
Mm.
It's samples for you, reference purpose only or guidance purpose. Try to come up with something original. You can use it as I would say, an inspiration, maybe by reading those codings, reading the softwares on those projects. Maybe your students or maybe yourself, you can come up with something else. So like I said, the ideal situation would be your students are the ones that are the main driver. They come up with an idea they want to create. So like I said, try not to copy the sample projects. Those are samples. It's for you to have an idea. You should not should not copy those sample projects.
Okay, got it.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Daddy. Is everybody else okay? Do you have anything else to ask or clarify? Or shall we move on to our first lesson?
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Um, so this is purely virtual.
Yes, all virtual. Yes.
What if, just wondering, what if mentors and the students, they are all agree to meet in face to face? Just
I
wondering.
see. Okay. So is that okay, if that is the case, then I will have to look into it because it still comes to the parents' permission. We have to remember that. And
Yeah.
also there
Because,
is SOP to look into where you meet and how you meet.
yeah, because most of my Sunday I would spend in the library, in the state library. So just in case that.
I see. Okay. Sorry, who is this? I see A-N. Is it
Nisa,
Nisa?
Nisa.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
Nisa. All right. Yeah. Um, let me take down your question, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, sure.
So you
Yeah.
are saying what if your students are in agreement to meet you face to face?
Yeah. For
Okay. All
example,
right.
like because I'm going to spend most of my Sunday in the library. Then what if they are all agree to come to the library and then we do some coding there. So
I
just
see.
wondering.
Okay. All right. So our first preference will be virtual because in that sense you are also protecting the students. But if this is a green light, then let me look into it first and I'll get back to you. Because there is also the situation where we have to think about the children as well as the parents. Yeah. Okay, but no worries, Nisa. I'll take down this and I'll get back to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, no problem, Nisa. Is everybody else okay? Okay, silence. So I assume that's a go for us moving on to the first lesson module. All right. So like I sent an email earlier, it would be good if you had downloaded the first lesson module into your phone or a separate device, because you wouldn't want to have so many small screens on your laptop or on your desktop. Then you're just going to squint your eyes and that's just going to make you a little bit leceh in one word. Okay, so is everybody ready with your lesson modules? Thumbs up or yes or okay, anything is fine.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's good to hear. So like I said, okay, so I'll just share as an introductory and then I'll be showing you how to set up your Microbit. Okay, so welcome everyone. This is our first lesson, Coding 101 in a way. Okay, so step 1, as an introduction, always hold your Microbit at the sides, never touch the board directly. You can compromise it with constant constant touch. Okay, so the one with the green tick, that is your that is the best way to hold your Microbit board. So as you can see on your Microbit board, if you were to look on the front, you have your LED lights. Okay, you have 25 if I'm not mistaken. You have a button A and a button B, and you have pins at the bottom of it with 5 holes. You have 0, 1, 2, 3V and TND. We'll get onto that later. So if you were to flip it to the back, you have your micro USB connector. So that is how you connect your Microbit board to your laptop or your computer using the USB connector. It's how you would connect your phone to your laptop as well. It's as simple as that. You have your reset button. So every time you run or you flash a program or a code onto your Microbit board, if you're done with the coding, just press your reset button and everything goes back to 0 level. And you have your battery connector. And one more thing to let you all know, it's not so visible on the image, but you will notice that between your micro USB connector and also the reset button, you will realize that there is a small LED light. So that LED light is actually, it notifies you when a coding or when the code is being downloaded into the Microbit board. So later on when we test a code, you will realize what I'm talking about. So some other materials in your Microbit includes the crocodile clips, you have your speaker or a buzzer, then you have your transistor as well. So this is a more,
Atika,
yeah,
sorry,
sure.
sorry. So in
Yeah.
the module one here, it shows there's a breadboard, right? But then in the box, it does not have the breadboard.
No. Yeah. No, it doesn't have a breadboard. So this one, your microbit kit as well as the kit that the students will receive, it doesn't have a breadboard.
So what do we do with the students? I mean, do we ask them to use the crocodile clip to clip the transistors? Like, I think
Yes,
they.
yes. So whatever lesson modules that we go through, it does not involve the breadboard. This is just for visual purpose only.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. It's just for them to see what goes where and how you use it.
What if we don't even have the transistor?
You should, that is not possible. You should have the transistor actually. If you have
No,
the,
Atika, we don't have.
that's odd. Because the set that we get from the set that we will be giving the students, they will have 6 transistors inside each
Apparent,
set.
definitely no, not a single transistor. I thought I missed a pack or whatever, but yeah.
Eh?
I don't
Can you
have.
can you show your video in, because inside that it should have a lot of things inside though. Because
Yeah. Let me exit.
I
Yeah.
have lots of things, but then not the transistors. I can show you the pack. Hang on.
Yeah, I have a buzzer, resistors, connectors, and LEDs. Yeah.
Okay. Can I think everybody can see me, right? So you have
yeah,
your,
can see.
yeah. So you have your crocodile clips, and you have your
Atika, no, I cannot see you now. Can you please share your video again?
you cannot see me.
No, I cannot see you.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Let me try. Let
Nico?
me on and off again. Okay. All right. Okay. Mhm. Okay, all right. So
I can
this,
see
you
you
have
now.
this, yeah,
Yep.
you have
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yep.
Okay, good. You have your cable wires,
Yes.
battery holders,
Yes.
battery.
Yes.
You have the microbit motherboard.
Yes.
Okay. Servo wire and servo motor.
Yes.
Okay. So the transistors are actually in the other package with the LED lights and the connectors. So for the students, we have 6 transistors, as you can see right here.
This is not transistor. This is resistor.
Resistor. Oh my god, I didn't realize sorry, I misspoke. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
In the excitement. So sorry, yeah.
No
So
problem.
yeah, you have a resistor. My apologies.
No problem.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
but there is no transistor.
Yes, there is no transistor. No transistor. The transistor, I think, is based on the projects given in the microbit.org. So like I said, you have to make sure the main microbit hardware is the microbit hardware is the main tool or main material in your projects. Anything else is optional.
Okay. All right. Now that clarifies. Thank you, Atika.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I misspoke. My apologies. Thank you so much for correcting me. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so this shows you what you have, what we went through just now. So what is a microbit? Just a short introduction. So it's a small computing device, and like I showed you, it has 25 LED lights on your main board. You have 2 programmable buttons, button A and button B, you use as controllers. Both buttons actually can be used separately as well as at the same time. So you will have certain exercises later on where you press button A and button B separately, but sometimes you can also press it together at the same time. You have an accelerometer inside the board to detect motion. You have color-coded blocks in the software. So that's how easy it is to use Microbit actually. All your codings are actually color coded. So it's quite easy to detect. And the links below are for your reference. It explains to you how you use your device, how you use the blocks. So it explains to you what the blocks actually mean and what each what the device is actually about. You can share this with your students actually. So for today, we will be making an interactive badge. Another way of saying it is to show your mood, how happy you are or how sad you are. You'll be learning about input, you'll be learning about sequencing, and you'll be also using the buttons as well. So how to connect your Microbit is quite easy. To connect your Microbit, so I'm going to show you how you connect your Microbit. So everybody please take out your Microbit board as well as your black cable. Okay. So if you were to flip at the back, like I mentioned to you, you will see this. Connect the USB cable into here, into this port, like how you would connect a phone for charging purpose. So you just connect like that, see? It's quite easy. So this is at the back of the Microbit port, yeah? You have to flip it to the back. And for this, just connect it to your laptop USB port. Just connect. So once you connect, you will get a pop-up, and an indication that your Microbit is connected is when I said to you, the light will light up. The small LED will light up. Okay? So how do you know it's connected so that you can run your coding, so on and so forth, is you can just go to your folder, any folder actually, your desktop folder, sorry, you can just click on desktop. It's actually to show here. This should appear. Microbit D drive. So is everybody okay? Anybody having problems?
Okay from my end.
Okay.
Yeah, me.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody's Microbit is lit up, yeah? Okay. All right, that's good. So you can see your Microbit drive D, okay? So now we will be going to the next one, where you will be opening, you will be making your own project. So please just click on the link and open it. So this is what should appear. So I'll give you about a couple of seconds. I'm sure it takes quite some time, quite fast to load. All right. So this is actually the Microbit software page. Like one of your colleagues mentioned and emailed me, Lai, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you don't have to download. Sorry, you don't have to download and install the software. It's actually quite easy to be accessed through the website. So what I mean by easily accessed, you don't need an account first of all. So long as you save this link on your bookmark tab or on your toolbar set, and you were to click on it repeatedly on different days, whatever projects you have saved or whatever softwares that you have made, it will appear as saved. So when I have been testing out projects previously, so all of these are saved, even though it has been done for over a week. So the latest one goes back to as long as almost 4 days ago. Okay, so it's quite easy to navigate. So you have your projects to be viewed here, all your projects to be viewed here. If you were to save any of these coding files in your laptop or your desktop or your computer, you can just import it and it will run all over again. So when you click import, you just import the file from your laptop or desktop or any device you are using, okay? And then lastly, like I said, just a reminder, you just need to bookmark this and all your projects can be viewed as usual. So for today, we are going to create your first project. So everybody, click on your project, click on new project, and just type in interactive batch. So once you've typed in the name of the project that you're going to create, it doesn't necessarily need to be in this format. You can write it as mood batch also, is fine. The name of the project is up to you. Then you click create. And this is your interface. Everybody so far so good? Do I need to wait for anybody? I can wait, it's no problem. If you are having if you're having loading issues or anything as such.
I'm done.
Okay, all right. So I hope you're speaking for everybody too. So just a quick look through of everything. So this is in the block setting. Like I said, your codings are all, your block codings are all color coded. So you have your basic blocks. You just have to click on basic and it'll show you all the necessary blocks. So these basic blocks are to show or to highlight. So when you use these blocks, you are showing something or you are displaying something for when you click start or when you want it to be repeated forever and ever. So when it's clear screen, very direct, you just clear your display. When you want it to pause, you want it to pause. And when you want to show something, this is when your directions come into play. And up here you will have show LEDs. So actually here you can create any kind of display you want. This is when you have already have something in mind, you want to show something specific, you can use this. Show strings is to show words. So one letter or one word, etc. Okay. So when you have your input blocks is when you have something to start your project. So you have when button A is pressed or when button B is pressed, on shaking, or when you use your pins at the bottom, or when you have some light involved. So we will be using all of this at one point or another. Everything else is up to the students to explore. Then when you click on music, it's when you plan to use a certain melody or certain tempo or certain volume, like how you would on your radio. You know, you want to play something specific, you want to play a tempo, things like that. You have your LED, which is you use to plot. So everything here is from point X to point Y. Then you have your radio blocks, which I think is quite straightforward. Loop, which means everything is on repeat. Okay. you have your repeat, you have your while, true or false statements. For an event happens, for when an event happens, what does it do? For elements that happens, what does it do? And then you have break, which means it's somewhat like a breakup or like a pause. And then you have something like continue. Logic is conditional comparison, okay? So if this happens, the display or the result will be something specific. If this happens, something specific, an event, a specific event will happen. Otherwise, that's why you have else. Otherwise, it's somewhat like a false statement. Then otherwise, something else will happen. When you have comparison, you have your equal signs, more than signs, less than signs are involved. So this is when digits are involved. This is when strings are involved. So these are your extra boolean. Is actually when you put certain statements in, you want two things to happen, or you want either one to happen, or you want something false. So everything here is under logic. Variables is when you create something new. So you will make a variable. So you will create a variable name, and it will give you a few codings for the variable you create. Math is anything and everything almost related to math. So you have random, you have constraints, you have maps, you have remainders, plus minus, multiplication, division. So anything you put inside here must be digits. Strings won't work. And everything under here, under advanced, is advanced. So you have functions, you create a function, and some coding will appear here for you. You have arrays, list of arrays, what you want to happen. List. You can have text. So this is when you want to create games. You want to insert, create images. You have pins, which involves the use of the pins at the bottom of your microbit board. And you have serials. Serials means that it has to somewhat include numbers. It has your arrays involved. Controls. This is when you want some control buttons involved. So your buttons come into play here. You have events happening. Like I said, these are all very advanced codings. Okay, and this part here, this is where you will be creating or designing your coding. So you can just, the simplest way is click on whatever block you want to use, highlight it, drag it, and you can use it. Just like that. So if I want to delete it, you can either delete block here, right click, delete, or you can actually just grab it, drag it, bring it to the block section, and it will delete onto the trash can, just like that. So this is your software simulator or emulator. So whatever you create here, whatever coding that runs here, it will also run here. Somewhat like a test run. Before you actually download it, you download your coding and it will run on your actual microbit. So let's start now. When you go on to your next page in your module, we're going to do something simple first. You're going to display an image. So first of all, you'll be using this on start. So everybody go to your basic blocks. And here to draw an image, you want to use this, show LEDs. So just grab it, drag it, and then just snap into here like a jigsaw puzzle. Everybody okay so far? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. All right. Now, you can actually click on these LEDs. I'm just going to say LEDs, yeah? It's easier than to pronounce it LEDs, LEDs. Okay, so you can actually click, just click on whatever image you want to create. So I'm going to create a diamond shape. You can just click,
Okay.
yeah. So once this lights up, you will realize that your microbit on the left of your screen will also light up automatically. So your code, whatever code you create here will automatically run here. Okay? So this is one simple step. So now, to test out if your microbit works, you're going to download it onto your microbit board. So follow my steps. Click download. And when you click download, a reminder will pop up. It's just to remind you to connect your microbit device. You've connected it, you can just ignore it. So once it's downloaded at the bottom of your screen. Once it's downloaded at the bottom of your screen, you just click on the small arrow and just show in folder. Once you show in folder, your microbit HEX file, it has to be a HEX file for your microbit to run, for your microbit code to run. So your latest one will be the coding that you just downloaded. Please ignore, everything down here is my work. So your latest one will be your interactive batch. Yours should be just interactive batch. I've done multiple interactive batch, so that's why it's number 11. So you can ignore that. Yours should just say interactive batch. So just click on it, highlight it, drag it to your D. So once you drag it and copied it onto your D, your microbit will flash. Your microbit device must flash. Only then you know your microbit is going to run. And once it's done flashing, the same image displayed on the software should display on your actual microbit device. Do I need to repeat? I can. Anybody needs any repetition? Just let me know. Is everybody's microbit lighting up like Christmas tree?
Yes, Tiga. Yes, Tiga.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Sound good. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we are going to display a sad face when you use a button. So you used an on start button here. So it automatically ons. It automatically runs. Now you're going to use a button, your button A. So what I want you to do now is go to your input and you should see on button A press. I'm highlighting it for you. Just grab it and drag it onto your microbit, onto your coding page. So what it means here, whatever code that you include under button A, it will run when button A is pressed. So for now, leave this, it won't affect anything. What we are going to do is, we are going to show again, show another display. So go to your basic, go to show LEDs to show your LED screen. And snap it under button A, input button A. So let's first make a happy face, not set yet. Let's first make a happy face. So just like I said, click on the LEDs. Just click. So when you click on your LED, it's not complete yet. because on your left, the microbit on your left of the screen, this simulator, it will only work when you click button A. So if you are ready with your happy face, it's just easy. Just click on button A on the simulator, and you'll see a button A, a happy face appear.
Okay.
Okay, good. So maybe I'll give you I think 2 minutes. Try downloading again on your own. It's quite easy to download. And when you've downloaded it, press button A on your Microbit device, and your happy face should appear there.
So one thing, Atika, as we keep downloading, there will be like bracket
Yeah.
11, bracket 12, as you demonstrated just now.
Yes.
When
Yes.
we
Yes.
when we move and copy this to the drive, the microbit drive, let's say there are multiple hex file over there. They
Yes.
can coexist, or we need to actually keep only one hex file.
No. You can just leave it as it is, because like I said, the coding is already downloaded to your computer as a hex file.
Right.
So when you pull it to your Microbit drive, only one runs at a time.
So that means that in the drive there should be only one hex file at a time, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So I'm going to download as well, and
Atika,
my happy face should appear.
I just noticed that there is actually easier way to do those without even downloading the hex file.
You can.
You can actually pair the device. You can
Yes.
just
Yes.
do those on the three dots on next to the download button. Then you
Yeah.
can pair to the device. Yeah.
Yes. You
Once
can
you
do
can
that.
once you can detect, so that in the way that you don't need to download the hex file.
And it will just automatically show. If you are up for it, go ahead, try it. It's fine. If it's
So,
convenient to you, I'm sure it's fine. Did everybody get their happy face? Anybody needs help? Okay.
Just to let you know, when I was trying to pair the device, it is actually prompting me to update the firmware, right? Saying that it must be version 0249 or above before we can do the
I
pairing.
see. Then it would be better if you just download for the moment. You wouldn't
Right.
want to disrupt anything in your board or in the software. Okay. I think everybody was successful on creating a happy face when we press on button A. So I'm gonna give you about 3 minutes, let's say 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Repeat the same steps and create a sad face using button B. And also see if it runs on your simulator as well as on your when you download or when you pair your Microbit device, does it appear on your Microbit device, the set face, when you press button B. So I'll give you about 2 minutes, and then if anybody needs more time, we'll extend it. Okay. Did everyone get to create a set face when button B is pressed? Maybe one of you could share a
Yes.
screen.
Yes.
Maybe one of you could share a screen. You can just click on the share button at the bottom.
Share the video or share the screen?
Just share your screen. Just share
Okay.
your screen. It should show your Microbit page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Atika, you have to stop sharing first. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, done, yeah.
So this is what I'm having. Can you see my sharing?
No, actually.
Let me try one more time. How about now?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yep, exactly that. So when you were to press B, yeah, correct, exactly that. So it's actually just a repetitive step, and you just need to change the display on your LED screen, LED display. Yep, that's it. That's quite accurate. All right,
All right.
thanks. Okay, thank you. And now we will continue with creating an animation, a very simple animation. Okay. So you already have a button A here. Okay, you're going to use it again. So what it will do is, you want it to, an animation means you're showing different displays, basically. So what you need to do now is, go to basic blocks, click on show LEDs again. On button A, yeah, we are using button A for now. You already have a happy face here, so you want to see a change before and after. So maybe just create a neutral face here. Okay. So how the animation works is like this. When I click on button A, this is what happens. Do you see? It moves from a neutral face to a happy face. Very
Atika,
immediate.
yeah,
Yes.
Atika, somehow I cannot see your sharing. Can you please share again?
Okay, sure. I
Yeah.
think maybe I'll unshare and share again. Let me
Right.
see. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe I will show again. So you already have this initially.
Right.
So you're going to create an animation, like I said, a simple movement of display. So just go back to your basics and just grab the show LED block, snap it above the happy face. So you want to see a change in display actually. So create a neutral face. This is what it should look like. And
Okay.
when I click button A, this is what happens. You will see an immediate change.
Okay.
Okay. So because the change is so immediate, you want a little bit of a break in between. So the next step is, you're going to have a pause in between your neutral face and also your happy face. To create a pause, you go back to your basic blocks, and you're going to choose a pause button. It's at the bottom. You have to scroll it down a bit. So grab pause and put it in between. So 100 millisecond is too short. You want it to at least have a pause of 1 second. So you can either click, actually, and it will show you different sets of seconds. So you can click on 1 second. So 1 second equals to 1000 millisecond. This will animate your face, your neutral face to happy face, and you will also have a pause in between so that the change is not so immediate. So once you've had your pause in between here, try it out on your Microbit on the left. Just click on button A and you will see that the animation is actually better, considering that there is a pause in between. You can actually count 1 second in between the change actually. So for now, I would like you to use the similar steps for your button B. Create an animation for your sad face. It's the similar steps as button A, but the difference is that you'll be using button B instead. You've already created a sad face for button B. So the additional part is that you're going to create a neutral face and also a pause button to show the animation for your sad face. I think like just now, the group of you did it quite fast, so maybe 2 minutes I think is sufficient.
Okay.
You also can take note of certain shortcuts such as, let me see, yeah, okay. So you can actually right click on the existing blocks you already have actually. You can just right click and you can just duplicate it. So this is one shortcut. You don't have to always go back to each block and choose your blocks. So you can just right click on the blocks and click duplicate. When you duplicate, the whole thing appears. And I can just simply change this to button B. And I will change this to a sad face. That's it. So that's one shortcut for you to take note. You can duplicate your blocks. And when I click on button B, yeah, animation works. So if you were to download this to your device, it will work for when you click on button A. It will also work for when you click on button B. So those who were successful in pairing, I'm sure it's faster. I'm going to do the step-by-step way and download it into my Microbit device. Don't forget to always check is the latest HEX file. If not, you're just going to drag this previous file over and over again.
Atika, actually, I'm just thinking a lot of the kids are quite young, right? 10 to 12.
Yes.
Yeah, as the other candidate, I mean, another attendee mentioned just now, it is actually better to do the pairing. So I just actually updated my firmware to the required version, right? And it is actually much easier to do the download now after the
Okay,
pairing. Yeah,
sounds good. Sounds good.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy that you are successful.
yeah.
Great.
So I think that for the kids, I think they probably need this.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, I agree. Yeah. So, does anybody need help? Everything so far so good? You were able to successfully create an animation for your happy face and your sad face. Yes?
Yep. Yeah, Tika, thank you. It is done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, great. All right, great. Okay. So now I have some extra slides in the lesson module 1. It actually uses the forever block now. Forever block. So we'll do it together and let's see if you can see what the outcome is. You can delete these blocks, okay? So you can either right click on the block and delete it, or the other way you can do it is drag it to the set of block sections here and it'll delete it as well. Okay? So we are going to use a forever block now. So the first step is you're going to use this block again, show LEDs again. So if you can either go back to your basics here and choose a show LEDs, or you can actually just grab this, the ones on the on start, just grab it like this and just shift it. You can just shift it here to the forever block. So either way works. And now we are going to use the pause and show icon as well. Both pause and show icon blocks are under basic blocks as well. So scroll down to your pause button, put it below your show LEDs, and then next one you're going to choose is show icon, this, okay? And put it below here, below your pause button. So your pause button here, don't forget to change it to 1 second. I think 100 millisecond is too fast. I don't think you will see any difference in animation in that sense because the change is just too fast. In show icon, this is the neat trick actually. When you click this arrow here, you will have multiple sets of icons shown to you. And you can choose any one of it, anyone to your liking, up to you. Okay? So as an example, you can choose the love icon, or you can choose this, it's a t-shirt icon. You can choose a cross, a house icon, up to you. If you scroll down, you will see a variety more down here. Okay, so for simplicity's sake, I will just go with the love icon, okay, the one that is already on default. Next is you're going to create something here. You're going to show an LED light here. So what you can do here is you can create, you can click for any image that you want here, up to you. I am going to go with a full square like this, just like that, okay. So that I can see the difference in image display. What you need to do next is you're going to duplicate the pause and the show icon button pause and show icon blocks, sorry. Pause and show icon blocks twice more. Okay? If you want, you can still go back into your basic blocks and click on it one by one, or you can just right click on each block and duplicate it. This is what you're going to do. You will get a duplicated version of the pause, put it below here. And then the icon, duplicate it. Right click, duplicate it. Then you just put it below the second pause button. So for variety's sake, you might want to change the icon here so that you see a difference in image display. So maybe I'm going to go with maybe a tick button. And after you choose your show icon, don't forget you need to duplicate the pause button again. You will see why later. So these three pause button is actually up to you how fast you want the change in display to be. If you want it to be faster, choose 100 millisecond. If you want it to be slower, you can choose 1 second. And you can actually type in here as well. As in you can use your keyboard to type in how many seconds you want. You don't necessarily need to choose the one here. So let's say I want to choose 3000. It's fine. Just type and click enter. And the 3000 is equivalent to 3 seconds. So if let's say here I want to change it to 2000, click enter. Here I change it to 3 seconds. Let's see what happens. Then click enter. You already can see on your Microbit on the left here, the change in display automatically. So mine, let's say if I were to stop and reset again, it will start with the square, love, and tick button. See? And you will realize that it will go on a loop forever. That's why the forever block is used. So it will repeat the 3 icons over and over again. The difference is that how long is the pause in between 2 icons. So if you were to count between my square here and my love here, you will see 1 second change, and then it will be a 2 second change, and then it will be 3 seconds before it goes back to the original square display all over again. If you were to move this whole set of blocks onto the on start, it will only do it once every time you start. So when you use forever, it will show and display for you forever until you press stop. And if you press play again, it goes on a forever loop again. So there is a stop button here for you to stop the animation. If you want, you can download it and test it on your Microbit device as well.
Atika, could you please provide the tips on how do we select multiple icons at the same time? Like for example, the show LEDs pause, show icon pause, show icon pause again. I just want to select all these things and move it to on start at once.
Yeah. So actually, you can just grab on the first one. See?
Oh, okay. Just grab on the
and
first
you move
one.
it here. Yep.
Okay, I was grabbing the wrong thing just now. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it might work differently if you were to take pause. This is what happens when you take pause. The ones below pause will follow.
Okay.
See the difference? Yeah. So it depends on which block you want to take.
Right. And what if we just want to move the highest one?
If I want to move only show LEDs, is it?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So either you remove this.
Okay.
And then you transfer this here, shift this here.
Okay.
That is one way. Another way is, let's say if I put it back everything all over again. A different way would be If let's say you were to take the whole thing all over again, you just separate this out.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, it works both ways. I suppose is to your convenience, which you find easier to
Makes
remove.
sense. Makes
Yeah,
sense. Makes sense. Thank you.
no problem.
But if
And
you want
actually,
to duplicate multiple pieces, then we cannot, right? We have to do one by one duplicate.
if you were to duplicate, it's one by one, correct?
Okay.
See?
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, is the forever loop working on your Microbit device? Do you see your displays changing every few seconds? I hope you were successful in creating a simple animation. Okay, I think everybody was successful, and I think if somebody were to say you needed help, I'm sure you would have used the microphone. Okay. It's 3:45 now. Perhaps we can take a short break. Stretch your legs, I suppose, have a quick drink of water. We can reconvene in, is 10 minutes sufficient for everybody?
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, okay. So we'll be back at 3:55. It's 3:45 now. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
3:45.
yeah, Tika, I want to ask you something. Just now I
Yeah,
was
sure.
playing with the delays, right? Even though I put a 10 milliseconds very, very short, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
system, like the interface won't allow me. It just go back the standard like 100 milliohms. Is it some kind of protection circuit inside?
That it's
Or
probably because it's too short. That's why. So that's why the minimum is 100 millisecond. So if you were
no,
to put
even though I
100,
put lower also, it won't reflect the by default it's 100. Can I assume
the
like
reason
that?
is that is the minimum there, the minimum millisecond. That's the reason why. So I did
Oh, I
test it
think,
like you did, yeah.
yeah. Okay,
So
thanks.
if like you can see on my screen here, the fastest it will go is 100 millisecond delay. I think
Uh-huh.
anything more than that, it won't change. I'm sorry, it won't read in a way. Yeah, the coding won't cannot be read properly because the millisecond is too short. Uh, the microbit cannot change the display that fast.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, we'll take a 10 minutes break and we will continue with the second lesson module.
Cool. Talk to you in 10 minutes.
Yes, 10 minutes. So we'll be back at 3:55. Okay, everyone are you ready for our second lesson?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Okay. Okay, so our second lesson will be that you'll be creating a fortune telling device, an equivalent to maybe a magic 8 ball, something like that. Okay, so if you have your lesson 2 with you, open it up and you can just jump straight to the slide with the fortune teller as the title, because you already have the basics as to how you open the Microbit website and also how to download or pair the devices.
Tika, sorry, just want to confirm with you. Where can I get the lessons folder?
I actually emailed it to everyone, I think the day before yesterday.
Okay. We have.
Yeah. I emailed it to everyone the day before yesterday. It's in a zip file. I emailed lesson 1 until lesson 4.
Okay. Have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you missed out on it or perhaps it didn't reach you, please let me know. Maybe I could resend it to you separately. Yeah. Please check and let me know. Okay, so everyone's ready. I hope everyone has opened their lesson modules 2 at the fortune teller slide. So what you'll be learning is you'll be making a fortune teller device, like I said, an equivalent to a magic 8 ball. It will answer random questions. You are going to learn about input, sequencing. You'll be using buttons as well as response to your questions. Okay, and also the additional part here, you'll be learning about variables as well as logic. So what you want to do first is that you want to remove all your blocks. You can just leave your start and forever as it is. You can remove everything else.
Perhaps an easier way is to just to start a new program, a new project.
Yes, definitely too. Yes, that is an option as well. So you can just go back to home. Yeah, you can just go back to home. That's one way. You can edit your name of the project at the bottom of the page, or like our friend said, we can create a new project as well. So here you can type in fortune teller and just click create. So when I mentioned just now how you can change the title of the project is actually at the bottom here. You can actually edit it. Okay, just for you to know. All right, so steps, moving on. You won't be needing the on start and forever block. I'm sorry, excuse me for a while. Apologies everyone, somebody dropped in for a while. Okay, like I said, let's first delete the on start. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, you can just leave it as it is. There's no difference. Apologies for that. There's no difference. You can just leave it as it is. What you're going to do now is you're going to go to your basics here, and we are going to show a string. So if you remember, when I said when you show a string, you're showing a word or a letter. Okay, so by automatically it will show hello. You can type something else, it's fine. You can say hey. You can say hey. You can say hi. But you have to type it in. You have to type the word into the string section. And you have to type it in between these inverted commas. Never outside of it. It has to be inside. Okay? So when you type your string, it will automatically show on your microbit on the left. And it will show in a string-like manner, word for letter for letter. So if I were to repeat for you again, this is how it shows. HELLO. Because logically speaking, the whole word, it won't fit into the 25 LEDs. So it shows word letter by letter. Okay?
Okay.
So just for the fun of it, why don't all of you try downloading it or pairing the code with your device and see how the word appears on your microbit device. It should appear as it was shown on the simulator as well. So you will see HELLO showing the letter for letter one by one. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes. Okay, everyone, I think everyone had sufficient time. I think we can test out new things. Did I assume all of you got hello on your microbit board or any other words you might have used? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good to know. So now we will be going into the next step, which is making a decision. So when you're making a decision, I am going to be using random numbers. So for in this case, it'll be 0 for no and 1 for yes. Okay? So firstly, what you need to do is, you can put this aside, is fine. Go to input. You can go to input and choose on button A. Okay? So we are going to use the button for this. Then now we are going to create a variable first. So like I said, when you create a variable, click on variable block. When you make a variable or create a variable, for example here, let's call it answer because you are going to make a decision. Let's call the variable answer. Okay, click OK. And you will realize that you will receive a set of variable blocks code or code blocks which has answer. You set answer to something or you change your answer. So this is always automatic. Whatever variable you create, these are the three things that will come with it. For now, what you're going to do is you're going to choose set. You've already created your answer variable. You're going to choose set answer. So you're going to set the answer to something, okay? So when you set answer, you're setting it the answer to display something. Okay, set the answer to display something here. But we are going to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, we are going to use math block here. Go to your math block here. And like I said, it's random, right? So choose a random block. You just need to scroll at the bottom. I repeat, you choose math block. Just scroll to the bottom a bit and you will see pick random here. So this pick random, you input inside the set answer to. So how do you know it'll fit is when the yellow highlight appears with the red dot. And this is, it'll fit in nicely, just like that. So like I said, you're choosing a random between 0 and 1. Okay, so instead of 10, we're going to change this to 1. Just like that. So you just have to click on it and just type in 1. That's it. And then you can press enter. So now you want to display. Now you want to display no. Because you want, if an answer becomes 0, you said it will be no according to the decision that you just made. Okay. So this is when the logic comes in. So just go over to your logic blocks here and choose if. So drag it out and then snap it under set, just like that. Now go back to logic. You're going back to logic here. Like I said, you want to use no, right? A no decision. So before deciding that, go to your logic block and go under comparison here. And you will be choosing the equivalent button here. And fit it into next to if. Like I said, how you know it'll fit is when you see the yellow highlight as well as the red button. So just fit it in like that until you hear the snap. Okay, maybe I'll give you a few seconds to look at the code, and if you need to catch up, it's quite simple actually. All, like I said, all the codes are color coded. So if it's pink, you can get it under input. If it's red, under variables. If it's purple, math here. And if it's this teal green here, you can get it under logic. Okay, I think we can continue. So for the next step is, still remembering you want it to be a no. You're going to go back to variables here. Drag answer this block. And you're going to fit in here. Beside if block here. Okay, so you know the answer is equals to 0 and you said you want to show no. So show no is like I showed you in the beginning. You want to show a string because you want a word to say no. Okay? So since some of you have it there, you have your show string there, you can either just plug it in. That's one way. Or you can go back to your basic and get a show string and just drag it out, just like that. So whichever works for you. So you want to show string, change it to no, because you decided that when it's 0, the answer is no. Alright, so if some of you are ready, you can test it out on your Microbit on the left here, the simulator here. So when I press button A, remember you set as button A, see? So when I press button A, this is what happens. Nothing happens. Why? Does anybody know? Nothing happens. Can anybody venture a guess? Nothing happens when I click A. That's because you decided to choose a random of 0 or 1. So when nothing happens, it means that the microbit is running 1. You didn't show anything here for 1. You didn't put a if logic here for 1. You put a if logic here for 0. So the show string no will only happen if a 0 is displayed here. If the randomized number is 1, then nothing will happen, which is what happened just now. When I clicked A, nothing happened. So if you want to see a no appear, you might need to click a few times actually. So let's try the second time. See? Only then it happens. When a no string is shown here, it means the random number chosen is 0. Let's say if I try again, the random number is 0. Some of you might be wondering why when I click A, nothing happens. It's probably because the number chosen was probably 1. Okay? So see, nothing happens when I click. It's because the random number chosen is 1. Okay, so this is when you have one answer, which is no. Do you think if I were to give you maybe 10 minutes, I think 10 minutes. Let's say 10 minutes first. If you can see on your slide, the challenge is for you to create something with multiple answer. So you need to come up with a color-coded block for yes, or the other one will be maybe. You already have no, so now you need yes and a maybe. Instead of maybe, you can choose ask again or something equivalent to maybe. And you should have a random answers of 2. So what you have here is 0 to 1. Now you have to change it to 0 to 2. The random numbers must be chosen between 0 to 2. Okay? I think I'll give you 10 minutes from now and see if you can work it out, and maybe somebody can share with me if you are able to come up with a multiple answer code.
Yeah, I already got it done, Atika.
Really? That was quick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Let me stop sharing. Maybe Lai, you can share.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So please let me know when you can see.
Oh yes, we can see. Yeah.
Right. So essentially this set was on button A.
Yeah.
Right. Then after that I change it to the on shake. Right. So
Yeah. You
essentially,
can do that. It's fine. Yeah.
right. So the condition is random 0 to 2, and then the one condition for each. Right.
Yes. So
Right.
when you were to click play, what happens? When you were to shake your microbit.
Right. So that is, I mean, the GUI here will have a shake or something like that, and then just click.
Yes,
Right. Yeah.
exactly. Yep.
Mm.
So you first shake was a no. Were you able to get a yes or a maybe?
It took me a while to get the maybe.
Ah,
Now,
that, now
right.
it's a yes. Yeah. So yeah, that is the common thing that when we first tested it out, yes, you will need multiple tries before you can get the random numbers to be 1 or 2. So the more common one will probably be 0 more often than not. So
Mhm.
like, yeah, you got maybe twice now already, which is a good odd actually. Yeah.
Right, right.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Like, yeah. So
Yeah, you're
maybe,
welcome.
yeah, maybe we'll give your colleagues a couple of minutes and then maybe they'll try it out on their own. Those who were able to, go ahead and try it on your Microbit device. If like our liar chose on shake, so if you were to do it on your Microbit device, see how much you need to shake. It depends on the sensitivity of your device. So you don't need to shake that much. So you can put it on button A or button B, up to you. Or if you want a different kind of input, is also acceptable. You can share this with your students, different ways to get an output. Let me just share my screen again. Please let me know if you can't see it. Okay. So like Lai, you chose on shake.
Yep.
So you can also do it differently as well. So you can try and explore what happens if you put B, or what happens when you put A plus B. So A plus B, when you do A plus B, you realize that on your simulator here, you will have a button here that says A plus B, which is convenient. But when you download it to your device, you need to click A and B simultaneously together. So it can't be A then B. It doesn't work that way. A plus B means you click it together at the same time. Only then your random numbers will work. You can try different kind of physical motion. It's fine. It's up to you. So for simplicity's sake, we go with A. And maybe if you want to try out how much you can shake, go ahead. I'll give you about 5 minutes, I think. Is more than enough. So did anybody try using shake besides Lai? Did you realize how much shaking goes into the device? Did you need a lot or just a little bit? How sensitive is your device?
It's a good question. Actually, I don't think it is sensitive. I need to shake it a little bit hard for it
Yeah,
to. Yeah.
me too. Yes, same like me. But when I was testing it out with a friend quite some time ago, uh, they did not need to shake that much. Their motherboards were quite sensitive. So somewhat like the simulator on the left, they just need to tilt it a bit and it will show the output immediately. in my case, I needed to shake like I would shake a bottle. Only then I had an output.
Right.
So test gently first and then slowly go up as to how much physical movement needed. So you wouldn't want to immediately shake so hard that just might jeopardize the device. Okay, I think that's the end of our lesson actually, to test whether you can come up with the random numbers 0 to 1, 0 to 2, and then whether you use the buttons and also the shake movement. How this game works actually is you were to ask a friend any random question, and you would click on your microbit device A or B, or you would shake it and it'll say yes or no, or ask again. You can actually change your string to something else according to the game you want to play. Something like you're playing something like what's your favorite color. So you can change this to favorite colors, or you can change it to anything that is related to a game that you can think of. So the easiest one is a fortune teller, you know, something like how will it rain today? And you were to press on button A and it'll say no, or maybe it'll say yes, or it'll say ask again. So when they say yes, then you move on to the next question. No, you move on to the next question. Ask again, then ask again, or maybe your answer will be maybe. Maybe it will rain, something like that. Okay, I think we've come to the end of our lesson actually. Was everybody able to follow? Oh, we're down by a lot. It seems that a lot of people had meetings today. That's fine. So like requested, I've recorded this session, okay? So once it's up, I will share it with everyone. So if you missed out on something, you can look at the recording and go through the lesson over again.
Thank you, Atika. Thanks a lot for your
No
time.
problem, no problem. Happy to help. As a reminder, you have some homework, which is lesson 3 and lesson 4. Please take the time to go through it. You have 1 week before we meet again on the 14th of July. Which will be in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, 10 a.m. Yeah, okay. If you have any question, you have some bumps along it, okay, roadblocks, things like that, you can text me or drop me an email and I will reply to you as soon as I can. Or if you prefer, you want to share the question with your class, with your colleagues, you can let me know beforehand, okay, so that I will remember to share the question with your colleagues during our next session. Before we conclude, anything to ask or comment on? Do you need me to do anything else so that it's better for you in the future?
So essentially, we are relaying all these sessions, right, the lessons to the 6 weeks training, right?
Yes, yes.
And let's say for some reasons, the students able to complete sooner than they say, hey, can we proceed to the next lesson? We should not agree, right? Means that for week 1, they already completed in 1 hour.
Yes.
They say they want to move to the week 2. I think
Yes.
we should just say no to them, right?
Yeah, you can use the time to discuss your projects. That is one way.
Okay.
As a backup, what I can do to help is that other than discussing your project, if you think that your students can catch on fast, perhaps let me know earlier. I will get some resources ready, and maybe you can try it out with them.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the other way around is that if the students are not able to complete in time, they're asking for extension for time, or maybe they ask for a reschedule, then we just ping you and then ask you to reschedule, right?
Yes, if you need more time, let me know.
Okay,
Yeah, so I will make the time if
okay,
that 2 hours is not enough for your session.
okay, okay, all right, sure.
Okay.
So in the program, it actually mentioned that students have to return the kit after the completion, right, for all the
Yes,
training, right? So
yes.
how about for the trainers? Do we how do we return the kits?
That is a good question. Let me check with Mr. Ngô.
Okay,
Let me
right,
check with Mr. Ngô. Yes, I will check with him. Yeah,
sure, sure. And
yeah.
then yeah, and then the box for the kit actually it has some cutouts, right, for putting down the bar, the buttons, things like that. So if
Yes.
students say that, hey, can I make use of the cutouts and put the bars, whatever, should we say yes or no?
Let me check on that. It should be okay, but let me just confirm. Let
Right,
me just
right.
confirm. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have 3 questions in total, I think. Whether or not you need extra sessions,
Right, right,
extra sessions are needed. How do I go about it? How
right,
do you how do Intel engineers return your kit? And if the
right,
students want to use the cutout on the microbit box, right?
right, right, right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah, yes. So I will get back to you on that either via email or I'll share it in the next session as well.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So if the students are saying that their kid running into some problem, I mean unlikely, but let's say that somehow their kids are not working, so we ask them to go to exchange with you, is it?
Yes, please let me know if they
Okay.
have any problem with their kit. I will also be telling them that when they come over to Penang Science Cluster office to collect it,
Mm-hmm.
when they sign off the loan form with me, I will let them know of that about proper care on the kit as well as if they have any problem with it, they should get back to me.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Atika.
Yeah, thank you. No problem. You're welcome. I also just a reminder as well. Mm, yeah. So if you have problem with Zoom joining via browser, please download the app onto your laptop or desktop. It will be easier to use the tools once you've downloaded to your desktop instead of using it via browser. That's one thing to take note. And as I mentioned earlier during class, you don't need to have an account for Microbit. You can just use the link on the browser. And I mentioned to you, you should bookmark it to save your projects, yes. But if you were to accidentally delete or sorry, not delete, if you were accidentally clear your history or clear your cache, it might go missing. Whatever projects you saved, it might go missing. The similar case goes to incognito. So just take note of that because everything is saved on your link browser, okay? Those who find it easier to use pairing, go ahead, no problem. Those who are continuing with download, also fine, no problem. You want to explore the pairing, also is an option. If eventually you see that one of it is easier to use for you and for your students, you can just go on and use that particular way to run your code onto your actual microbit device. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Atika, just to let you know, the pairing is indeed very easy. So I think you should try it out.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
pairing is quite easy actually. It's
Mm.
the downloading part that takes some time, but I wanted it to be an option because
Mm-hmm.
in any case some disconnection happens, you will have to revert back to downloading manually. Yeah.
Right, right, right.
Yes, yeah. So pairing is somewhat like as simple as Bluetooth, right? I'm sure you would have noticed, isn't it?
Yep.
It's an immediate connection, true. Yes, so the option of me saying download is because in case you have a disconnection. So
Mm-hmm.
you do know the other way to download your code.
Okay.
Okay? Sounds good, everyone? I think that's it. The reminders that I have at me the moment. Yeah. So if you have any more questions, like I said, you can text me or you can drop me an email. And with regards to the WhatsApp group, I will send out the form soon. And then we'll work it out from there. If there's nothing else, I think we can end our session.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Latika.
Thank you also for
Thank,
taking time to
yeah.
join the session today. Thank you so much, all of you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. I will share the link for recording once it's up and ready. Okay, everyone, see you. See you all next
Right.
week.
Thank you.
Don't forget to do your homework.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. See you all next week.